y'all, this is Kayla. Thank you so much for watching this video. Today I want to make a mid-year, I want to complete the mid-year book tag. Um, I am super excited to do that. Oh my gosh. Um, but before we get into that today, I would like to give you guys some channel updates. Like, yes, this is my third video, but me and my significant other are thinking about doing some pretty fun stuff. So let me actually introduce you to my significant other. Let him introduce himself, and so yeah.
Hi, my name's Tom. Hello.
Right, that is my significant other. We have been thinking about creating very unique and creative um, book reviews. So, of course, we're still going to be doing traditional book reviews on this channel. Um, but we just want to, spice it up a little bit. And so one of the things we have been talking about is potentially doing book interviews. So like I would read a book, and I would kind of, he'll have some questions, and he'll give his live reactions to a lot of my answers, and I'll give my unfiltered opinions about those books. And on top of that, we have also been considering doing like a couples book read, and me and him on camera just reacting to a book. But of course, all of these changes are not going to happen until maybe next month, possibly, or in a few weeks. But yeah, thank you so much. And I hope you guys enjoy that. If you guys have any comments or any questions on those potential changes, please let me know. Please leave a comment. But anyway, so we're going to move on to what the video is about today. And it's the mid year book freakout for 2025. So, the first question for the book tag is, what is the best book that you've read so far in 2025? So, by far, my best book that I've read in 2025 has been Immortal Dark. Um, it is such a well written YA vampire dark academy book. And it, I'm not going to lie, I'm super excited for the upcoming release of the second novel. Um, I just personally, I did like the fact that the two main characters have this undying, I don't know, banter between each other. And also, I do enjoy the fact that both of them are very much uh, morally gray. And so a lot of the times with those traditional fantasy books, you have this hero's journey kind of thing. And so it took that and kind of spinned it on its head. And I really enjoyed that a lot. Um, the second question is, what has been your favorite sequel for the first half of the year? So I haven't really been reading a lot of series in 2025. I will say the two sequel books that I have read um, was Sigma by Tia Rainen. I think I might be pronouncing her name wrong. But I'm gonna put her picture up right here. Um, and then of course Holly Jackson's Good Girl, Bad Blood. Those are really good ones. But I will say the book that's really taken the cake. I don't know if I'm using the right phrase here, is Good Girl and Bad Blood. Good Girl, Bad Blood. And it's because Pipa's character is just it's just so fun to see her evolution and see how, you know, her issues with justice and like her whole thing about bringing justice to the world and bringing whatever. I actually have the third book with me. It's actually on my shelf. This cutie, As Good as Dead. I am planning on reading this before the end of the year. But yeah, I just love the fact that her character evolves and she has so much to learn for. And of course, her morals, her high morals, and her need to bring justice to the world helps perfectly with the first book. I mean, it works out perfectly. But the second book is really when how does that apply to the real world? How does that what does how does that help the real world, So, it's so interesting that how that was set up, and it was beautiful. It was genuinely beautiful. But sorry, trying to look for that next question. Um, what is a new release that you haven't read yet, but you are really excited to? So there was a new release in February called Hungerstone. I actually have that in my group of books that I have to read the next month or so. And from my understanding, after reading the synopsis, it is a lesbian vampire romance. It's kind of like the female version of Dracula, from my understanding. So correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm super excited to dive into that and see how that goes out. The next question is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? I'm going to tell you. I'm not sure who, but one of my favorite YouTubers, I'm going to put her up somewhere, anywhere, um, had actually recommended this book for a summer horror, kind of like late summer like vibe, and it's called Hazelthorn, and it is coming out in the next few months, I believe, and it's by CJ Drews. So far, I'm actually reading one of her novels right now. So I'm super excited to see how that goes down. It's basically about a boy who is um has a caregiver, a guardian, and the guardian has like millions of dollars, and then suddenly the guardian dies. And then the boy has to figure out like what's going on, and there's like it's like a web of like conspiracies and like a web of like figuring out how like stuff goes down. And one of the people who actually only people who actually are trying to help him is another boy who's under the guardianship of the multimillionaire, who suddenly dies and leaves his fortune to the main male lead. And but the unfortunate part is that the there is a whole thing where the main character was supposed to stay away from the other guardian's hair because the other guardian's hair potentially could kill him, because at some point when they were younger there is reports that he tried to. So I am super excited to see how that goes down. Like, there's so many ways that can go down, and I'm super excited for that. And the next question is, what is your biggest disappointment this year? I'm going to get a lot of rolling of eyes, a lot of critiquing on this one, but I will say Fourth Wing was my biggest disappointment. Violet is such a horrible character. She is a horrible friend, in my opinion. And I just don't like how Miss Rebecca I can't remember her last name, writes Violet and this like anti like French like friendship thing or making her friend Dane be like this like really toxic individual and like I just didn't like that. And I didn't like this idea of like kind of these children being I don't know, I just didn't like the concepts. And on top of that, it was also the second reason. Oh no, but sorry, go back. Also, I don't like Violet because she tends to follow this like frail female lead characteristic, like this trope. I cannot stand that trope. I like strong or just normal females. I can't stand this trope of like I'm just so frail. I'm so pretty. Help me. I can't stand that. Second of all, it's how it was commercialized. Because I did get this recommendation from Book Talk. Yes, rolling of eyes, rolling of eyes. I get it. I initially, when me and my partner were at Barnes and Nobles at some point, we read the synopsis for this book, and it said specifically it it was like it felt like it was supposed to be a high fantasy book. I wasn't expecting a romance book with like a little bit of fantasy, and I was expecting a high fantasy, not really like a soft fantasy kind of thing. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say on that. So I have the second part of this book tag coming out. I'm probably going to release both of these books, both of these videos around kind of the same time. So I can give you guys some, like, the full thing, the full commentary. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And you're probably going to see me in the same shirt and same clothes because I'm literally doing part two right after this. But thank you guys so much. You guys have a great day.